We interrupt this program to bring you.
Welcome back to an episode of The Lounge Out. Now, we have a special guest with me. Today, I have Mr. Nelson. Mr. Nelson, the famous and the well known artist. Would you like to talk more about yourself? Good, sir.
Good day, everybody. Good day to all of our the lounge followers. My name is Nelson Gray. I am a contemporary multimedia artist here in Nassau, Bahamas. Um, Thanks for having me. I do like to make work. I like to make paintings, oil paintings specifically, but I also enjoy uh, a light bit of farming. You know, I have three pots at home growing like four green onions individually. I started up growing a little bit of potatoes. I have tomatoes growing too. So I do a little bit of everything, but mostly my main job is to do art and create things.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So, question I'd like to ask: what really got you into art? Because I've seen your art pieces around now, so and I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, this man can put some two and two together and make a painting.
Right.
Make some art. So what got you inspired? That it's like this is something that I want to pursue.
Okay. So, well, at first, I think what made me want to do art, I was inspired a lot of like, I think everybody was inspired a lot of like anime growing up and stuff like that. But I
Okay.
also had an uncle that used to draw and he used to cut out like these figures like with like Iron Man and Hulk and all these other stuff. So I had seen like art, but I also saw it in a three-dimensional way. Like I
Mm,
feel like everybody like, wanted to do art, but they didn't have anybody who's like doing it at any level. So
okay.
like my uncle was doing it and he was like doing art and stuff like that. And I was growing up in a like Toonami era where like all the like anime and stuff was coming on. Like one of my first anime I started watching was Archbell. Most of them, most but everybody like around here like 20 on the window what Zatchbell is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what I grew up on. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what started me off with my art journey. That and like origami, like going on YouTube. Like the early YouTube days,
Mm-hmm.
like going on YouTube and figuring out how to make this, how to make that. It was really physical, like with my hands at first.
Yes.
And then and I once I started going to school and doing the academia stuff, like I would say I started to work with pastels and then color pencils, and I graduated. I keep on graduating until I reach the oil paint, and I was like, you know, pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? But I
Okay.
started when I was 5. Though I started really early.
Mm.
Mm.
So I know a lot of people have a young passion when doing anything
Right,
specifically. Like for me, it's coding. I
right.
had it's like an off and on relationship with it.
Hmm.
So what made you really stick with it from as a child to now as a grown adult? Like what made you like, okay, this is something that I can see myself doing.
Mm.
And a two parter
Hmm.
actually.
Okay.
Is there a specific type of media that really get your attention? Like this is something that I excel in, you
Okay.
know?
Okay. So what made me want to stick with it? I think because like growing up, I used to do a whole lot of stuff. I was multifaceted. I used to play baseball. I used to play basketball. I used to play tennis. I was really like a well-rounded person. Like, but then I suck at those things. Though.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I think sometimes you gotta be real with yourself. You gotta be
Mhm.
like, I don't think I can make it to
To the big
play
leagues.
tennis. I think I can make it to MLB. Although I think in basketball, I played against a few people that are actually doing really well now. I won't put any names out there, but he played for the 76ers. I just saying. But um yeah, but I would say I think even with all of those stuff, truthfully, I think I just gravitated to art more. The I really like the freedom to like creating stuff and like just going through life and them and just creating. And I feel like art really just tell the story like your journey without even being able to write. Because I
Okay.
suck at writing.
Mm.
But I think like that visual language, I thought that was really cool and I just stick with that.
Okay.
And the second question was
Is there any form of media that
Oh,
really,
yes. I think film. I think film
okay.
over movies. I think film is a creative reduction of someone's vision, I would say. I think film is really good. I like movies too; they're entertaining. But film, I think film really does it. You know what I'm saying? For me,
Hmm.
like creatively.
Okay, because I see you mentioned earlier that you said that you language like writing is not really your strong
No,
suit.
language is not my strong suit.
So, like, do you think, well, with your art,
Hmm.
do you express the way you feel through it, or is it like up to interpretation, or do you have like a set description on your art pieces?
I think that's a great question because I feel like a lot of art nowadays is up for interpretation.
Mm,
And then you could kind of go like either way with that per se. Like
okay.
some people leave their art to interpretation, but I personally don't. I feel like if I want to tell a story, then I would say what, or I would express it in the form. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like there's a place for art, interpretational art, like abstract and uh cubism and all those other genres and contemporary things. And
Yes.
I think there's realism. I think there's a space for realism and impressionism and things of that nature where you could actually see what's going on. And not to say that one is greater than the other. I'm just saying in my personal preference, I would like to take my view, like hold my view as Han and tell the story as if it was. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay. Because why I asked that, because I saw you at the National Gallery of Bahamas. Shout out them. I saw you painted some fire hydrants.
Right.
And as you mentioned earlier, some time ago, that you don't notice them.
Right.
You don't notice them, but when they're there, they're there. Then you
Hmm.
start seeing them frequently as you pick up on them.
Correct.
You know, so I want to ask: Are there any other pieces you have in mind in the future that you're
Hmm.
like, okay, this is something that it's not really anything, like any sneak peeks, anything that get people attention to look for?
Yeah, I would say like I working on a few things because um I became the president of the Pro Gallery. So I working on
Oh,
more or less. Yeah, the Pro Gallery is a gallery affiliated with the University of Bahamas, or it's the official gallery of the University of
okay, okay,
Bahamas.
okay, big time.
So yeah, so basically, I working on programming specifically with emerging artists like myself. Uh, One project in particular I working on right now with that would be the photography exhibition with Stefano and Roberto.
Okay.
They two up and coming photographers, and so it's not only just painting with me. Like it's a lot of different media. Photography is definitely one of those influences. I would say one of those medias, like you mentioned earlier,
Hmm.
that I enjoy.
Yes.
So the Stefano and Roberto one, I would say to look out for,
Hmm.
and stuff pertaining to myself personally. I working on another show probably next year. Not sure yet where though, but it would be next year, and it would be about the masculine tendencies. I would say, like for instance, like what is appropriate masculine wear. You know what I'm saying? Is pink
Okay.
a masculine thing to wear as a
Hmm.
as a man? You know what I'm saying? Is nail
Yes.
polish. I think that mindset of what is it acceptable for a man. I think that body of work would be interesting.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So moving on from the art pieces, you said you
Right.
were into film and stuff to that nature.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, what got you into it? Because I also dabble in some photography here and
Hmm.
there, but saying to the extent of film, you said film different from movie. You
Yeah.
know.
Film different from movie. I feel like movie is more like entertainment. I feel like film is more like artistry of it. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Film is more like intimate. Like you know what I mean? Like more. Yeah. Like more intimate. I would say.
intimate. So you,
Yeah.
in sense of that, film is like really like diving into like telling a story, like getting more personal and deep into it. Or
I think that's the case. I feel like I would compare uh movies are more like tuna, you know what I mean?
mm,
Like easy like to get, open it up and that's food, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Versus like Like a film would be like more like a salmon or snap or whatever. Like you would have to you would continuously refine this fish in order for it to be edible. You know what I'm saying? You have to
Yeah, yeah,
clean
yeah.
it, scale it, all that other stuff.
Hmm.
So film is more like an in-depth love letter to the viewer, kind
Mm,
of explaining that narrative a little bit further on. Like where movies are more like just purely based on like entertainment. Film could be a true story.
you're right. You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would say that would be the difference.
So with all these forms of media, is there anything that you would give to somebody that's just first starting coming up with just the painting, the film, or any sort of other media? Like, what would you give to somebody like, oh, I'd love to start it,
Mhm.
but I'm afraid what people may think, or I don't have the tools and necessities to expand or dive into it. What advice would you give to somebody that just want to
I
start
would
that?
say like in the beginning, like just work what you have. I've seen somebody like did a whole art piece on their phone, like literally tools on their phone. You know what I'm saying? Like your
Mm,
phone camera is good enough to make a film. Your
okay.
phone camera is good enough to take a picture. Your phone camera is good enough to do any of those stuff. It's really all about lighting,
Hmm.
timing. You know what I'm saying? Skill, the 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 skill gap will always be present no matter what uh equipment you use. You'll have $1 million equipment for
Yes.
5 cents skill. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It ain't
Hmm.
gonna make your you ain't gonna make your content any better per
Exactly.
se. So
Okay.
it's just about learning and getting educated on the specific things.
Hmm.
You always want to find a mentor no matter what you do, whether it be a creative field or not. You want to find a mentor who does the similar things you doing.
Hmm.
So I would say to find a mentor, one, just use the tools you have until you can do better. Two, and then elevate your environment. That's the most important thing, because elevating your environment means that you changing the way your surface is. Like like those pictures online where they be like, there's three apples in a row, the
Yeah.
one apple rotten in the next one, that cliche where the next
Yeah,
apple
yeah, I
rotten
know
in
what you
that
mean.
one.
Uh-huh.
It's similar like that, but
Okay.
more or less like if you look at a can in the trash, it's trash. But if you look at a can in a gallery, that's art. See what I'm saying? So
Okay.
basically, what you want to do is elevate your environment. And
Mm,
so when you elevate your environment, you start to reap the benefits of being in that environment. Surround yourself with people that also create. They also be able to push you and do all that other stuff. Kind
okay.
of just elevating the environment is like number one key.
Mhm. Okay, makes sense, makes sense. Because I noticed a lot of people, at least a lot of kids attending the National Art Gallery. They have a summer camp.
Hmm.
Shout out the National Gallery again.
Hmm.
They have a summer camp. It's catered towards, I think, to my knowledge, 5 years old all the way up to
Hmm.
16. If you're interested in any type of art media, it's interesting. But I don't see that many. Like it's very not many spaces
Correct.
for at least kids specifically that want to dive into the art based. Yeah, they have camps, but camps is more outgoing.
Hmm.
They like some. I want to draw. I want to film. I want to. There's not that many spaces for them.
Hmm.
So
Correct.
do you have any things that or ideas suggested for people that are listening? Like, hey, you should start this. You know,
Hmm.
because I want to start a computer because there's no computer place. There's
Okay.
no computer camp.
Okay. So there's one person who I like to shout out to for real because she does the art like classes. Her
Okay.
name is Amani Hepburn, and she works with children and adults and teaches them how to paint. Studio is called Studio Teller. So she kind of does what you're alluding to, whereas you had that one-on-one experience and you're
Mhm.
trying to get people to learn how to do a specific skill. What I would tell people is just to start it. You know what I'm saying? No matter where you started from home or whether you start at an institution, just start it and make sure everything's professional. Because I think the the venue doesn't matter as much as the information.
Mm.
I feel like if people are coming to your classes and they're learning, I feel like that's the bottom line. You could be teaching like not out of a shock now, but like you could be teaching like from anywhere, and I feel like that would be very very good. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Very 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 informal. I mean, very
Mhm,
formal, like very informational. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? So just be professional in the way you deliver your information, and go from there.
'Cause why I brought that up, I've seen I think you've noticed this as well in the Bahamas,
Hmm.
where a lot of flyers lately strictly AI, strictly AI flyers and promotional photos and good that nature. Um, I personally, don't see anything wrong with it. I don't see anything wrong with it because, hey, man, easier one to put something together. Everybody's gonna see it. Nobody's gonna care about the digital art for it.
Correct.
So what like I see a lot of people disliking and hate it.
Correct.
Do you have an opinion on that?
I think I wouldn't say AI art is necessarily bad if
Mm,
you're using it as the finished product, because I think like if you're using it as a finished product of something you're going to show to an audience, I think it's very deceiving. So if you're going to use AI, tell people what you use AI for. You get what
okay.
I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like if you're gonna use AI for a finished product, tell people what you use AI for. Like don't hide it. Like make sure that's in the forefront of what you're like doing. See what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like so if AI did it, make sure in the forefront you said like AI did this and AI did that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
because like there's like a group online where like they make AI work, or like a group of creators that make AI work that don't do that. Like don't put, oh, this was AI generated. So they have their audience confused of like what is like created, like
Hmm.
like generic, like organically, and what was made with AI. So I personally don't use AI for anything really, other than like maybe writing.
Yes.
But if you're gonna use it, I wouldn't hate on somebody who's using it, but just make sure you let your audience know what exactly was AI and what exactly is real. Because some AI art is very beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Like
Hmm.
I think in the national exhibit we shown like an AI work. I think it was Ryan Lewis. He showed it. He showed a piece in the national exhibit, and that's a very prestigious uh exhibition to be a part of.
Okay.
So, and he showed some AI work and it was lovely. So, but everybody knew it was AI. So
Hmm.
it wasn't like he was hiding that, you know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
sometimes the prompts could come out and things can come out very, very interesting. It's just that when you dealing with AI, I gotta let people know that yeah, this was generated. This isn't just
Hmm.
me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So because why I also said that because a lot of people saying, "Oh, I mean, this AI art, yes, it's AI art, cool, mess with the environment." But they're also saying they're taking away people who's using their hands, taking away their hard work and art pieces,
Mm-hmm.
and they get gravitating towards this AI piece or this AI work.
Mm-hmm.
Someone putting a prompt and a text and generated the photo,
Mm-hmm.
and they get more fame and stuff. When I put my whole heart, sweat, and tears into this artwork, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody's paying attention,
Correct.
you know, I feel like a lot of people who are in the art spaces hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of people
Oh
say,
yeah.
"Oh, hey, I hate AI, I hate AI, I hate AI." Well, AI art,
AI art.
AI art to be more specific.
Yeah, AI
They
art.
they they hate it, and I can see why. But
Mm-hmm.
me personally, probably because I'm not in the art
Right.
media. I can me personally is like, yes, I can see why you hate it, but probably because they also taken in my job as CIS major.
Right.
Um, However, if it's AI art, I feel as though if your art is good enough, then it'll be noticed. If you,
No, I feel like there's still, but there's definitely still work to be done as regular, not regular, 'cause nobody's like regular artist. Like everybody's extraordinary. I feel,
okay.
but um, I feel like there's still opportunities for brands to reach out to the real artists and get work commissioned. Like there's transactions like that happening every single day. So AI isn't really taking over the art scene like many people may claim it may be. Like your Grammy, yeah, she has used AI to make a little flyers or whatever, but no, like we ain't getting nowhere. Like you know what I'm saying? Like real
Mhm.
paintings, like real illustrations, like all
Yeah.
that stuff still very much necessary,
Yeah.
like real graphic design,
Hmm.
real logo design, all those stuff is very still necessary in 2027, 2026, 28.
Hmm.
Moving forward, you know what I'm saying? We still need that human touch because you ain't gonna never, computers ain't gonna never be able to replicate that. You see what I'm saying?
I
It's the
feel you.
psychology of it. You
Mm.
can't never, you can't really teach that. It's a field. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So the computer won't, they won't like know particular prompts, they will know how humans interact with them because they're not humans.
Okay.
You know,
So I have this other question because I saw a lot of people, there's a love and hate for abstract arts,
correct.
because I see sometimes at art exhibits, I saw this man, he stacked a bunch of sand in a bucket and then it fell over
Mm-hmm.
and people were cheering.
Right.
So
I think I know that one.
yeah, yeah. And then I saw something else where someone, it was a white black canvas.
Uh
He's
huh.
using just black ink drawing over it.
Right.
And then he finished. And I looking at this art, I personally looking
Mm-hmm.
at it like, this is just kids painting. Like this is
But
kids art.
guess what? And then there's was exhibition in Venice called the Biennale. It was a lady naked, and it's like a room full of water, and she riding around a jet ski. So
So
you
I
know,
because I bring that up to say, what is really art for you? Like, is art just whatever? I put two and two together, have two sticks, and put it on a canvas on a wall.
I
Is
think
that art? Is that really
I
what art is?
I think there's genres to art. Like there's just genres to music. I feel like artists like same way. Like you would listen to some heavy metal and you would be like, "What the heck is them niggas saying?"
Uh-huh.
You see what I'm saying? When you slow it down, you be like, "Oh yeah, my Grammy riding on the street." You know what I'm saying? The lyrics do not match
Mm-hmm.
what they saying or what they how the emotions is in the music video. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Or in the lyric or in the like way they deliver or their cadence.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same thing with art. Like literally, it's like that your cadence and like your taste for it. You know what I'm saying? And there's
Mm-hmm.
different flavors. You see what I'm saying? There could be you could be like more contemporary, you could be more modern, you could be more eccentric, you could be more cubism, you could be more uh you could be more abstract, you could be more whatever you want to be.
Okay.
Seriously, you could be African influence, you could be Chinese influence, you
Yes.
could be an Oriental age, you could be in the Aztecs. You know what I'm saying? You could be all over the place. And art is like a universal language. And you could literally travel the world from your cell phone and view the arts of the different countries, and that will literally tell you the story.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? So it's just about the different flavors and whatnot, and different art is subjected to different periods of time. See what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So they're also a good time keeper, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The art is one of the oldest forms, you know what I'm saying? Like art in general is one of the oldest forms of timekeeping. So just like just big generalization. You know what I'm saying? Like there's many genres in art. So, and this if you look at those things, it might not be something that you might be into,
Yeah.
but like other people are into those things. So, you know, as though you may not like it, you have to give respect to the artists and the people that actually do enjoy
Yeah.
it, I would say.
So final question to before I wrap things up.
Right.
What are your thoughts on art in the Bahamas? Do you think that it's dying? Do you think it's doesn't get its attention that it deserved? Like
Mm,
what do you think the Bahamas state? Because I know back then, in the 90s, early 2000s, art was a huge thing. You could
right.
see art everywhere, maybe Bahamian culture or
Hmm.
other forms of culture in the Bahamas.
Correct.
Nowadays, it's like only select few areas shows, art,
I,
either out west in like
mm,
some campuses or National Art Gallery.
hmm.
It's not like back then you could see a mural of an artist or just somebody like, oh my gosh, this looks amazing. Nowadays, you
Right.
don't see art,
No, you don't.
you know?
I feel like even back then, I feel like the bar scene in Nassau is still in its like incubation phase. Still, I
Yes.
feel like if we were to make an analogy in Bible terms, I feel like the art in Nassau is just I mean the art in Bahamas in general is still in Genesis. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
the whole book hasn't even been written yet. I feel like
Mm,
we've just been I feel like the four people, like the people before us, like the forefathers of like art and stuff like Brent Malone and Jackson Burnside and Maxwell Taylor and Kendallana and all them other people, right? They
yeah.
just been writing the first book. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or wherever you feel like we're at right now, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like we're only just beginning where it comes down to like where art is and now. So like we may be like really just starting for like kick things off. You know what I'm saying? But like I think art in the world in general was just made for a specific select few people. But there's art in everything. There's art in everything. It's just that
Okay.
fine art. Some people may not understand, just like how you say, like, oh, cubism and this black paint on, you know what I'm saying? Not might not be everybody jam. So like when you take into consideration like fine art, it's there's a big global market, but when it comes down to Caribbean, it's just smaller. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have the technology that they do over there. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? We don't have where we could like ship big works. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Outside the country. You know what I'm saying? So there are times where we do excel on that level. Like for instance, like the Biennale. Like we had a very good pavilion in the Biennale this year in Venice,
Mhm. Mhm.
and everybody was talking about it. Not a Man's Yard is what it's titled. Featuring works from Laval Monroe and the late John Beadle, and it was really good. And we had and like all the blog posts that came out about that exhibition, like we were in the top five must see. Like
Okay.
consistently, we're in the top five must see, top 10 must see pavilions across the globe, basically.
Jeez,
You know
I
what I'm
never knew
saying?
that.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like all the big odd bloggers. I'm talking about the 100K followers, the million followers on Instagram.
Mhm.
Like everybody was talking about the pavilion. So I feel like it's getting there, but like the book hasn't been written yet.
Yeah.
So you just gotta like you just gotta be like one of those people to kind of read like kind of write the book for yourself. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like not everybody can get a chance to write in the book. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong.
Fair.
But
Fair.
at the same time, it's just that uh the expectations of the Bahamas like art scene has to be, whereas you're in that growing phase and you can't expect your work to like kind of pop off here because it isn't like a big scene, like a big art scene here. So you just
Okay.
gotta be where your expectations are,
Mhm.
you know, tapered, but not lost. Just tapered in the sense where okay, the same people that are at this opening is gonna be at the other for you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Unless it's a family member, you know what I'm saying? It's usually like the art people in this country, like they know each other.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay. With wrapping up, would you like to shout out your platforms and then? Wow. Would you like to shout out your platforms? Are there any other people in the art that you would like to shout out as well, so we can tag them?
I mean, I feel like everybody cool. And if I were to shout somebody out, it'd probably be some music people, like people who make music, like Lil Flox. I think he makes really good music. I think uh I think the National Art Gallery too, Turn Gallery. I mean, like this shout out is for everybody who wants to like who isn't familiar with Bahamian art, who
Yeah.
isn't
Okay.
familiar with the gallery scene, to kind of get to know the scene. So I would recommend them three galleries: the Turn at Bahama, the National Art Gallery, and uh the Cab Gallery and the Turn Gallery out Albany.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
no
Thank you for
problem.
your time, and I'll see you guys next time
See
on
you.
the